All right, hi guys, Professor Bryant back, another installment of mini lecture. This mini lecture is going to be focused on acid nomenclature. When we're talking acids, this nomenclature involves not only acids containing oxygen, but also we're going to talk about the nomenclature of acids that do not contain oxygen and how we name those and determine the formula from the name. So if we take a look here at the acid nomenclature, we're going to start with what we call the hydroic acids, or what I like to call the hydroic. So IC-ic is normally going to be the suffix you see for any of your acids that do not contain any oxygen. Now, when you get into general chemistry 2, you're going to see that water can be an acid and a base, but for purposes of general chemistry 1, we're not so concerned with that. But if the acid structure has a H with the nonmetal, in this case, which I have denoted as X, right, a generic placeholder, if it is HX, then the formula for the nomenclature, or how the nomenclature is set up, is hydro, the name of the element, ic acid. And let me put that there. It should be hydroic acid. Okay? Now, normally when we see the H come first in any covalent compound, non-metal compound, when the H comes first, we immediately should recognize this as being an acid. That's just a standard amongst and across all of your chemistry courses. If H shows up first, almost always you're going to be dealing with an acid. So when we're dealing with acid nomenclature, HX, so let's take a look at a couple examples. HCl, very common acid. We see this across and for the duration of your chemistry educational career. HCl means that we're going to be dealing with hydrochloric acid. And it's going to take a little practice for you to get to the point where you immediately know how to chop these down, but it's hydrochloric. So we take out the INE in chlorine and we replace that with the IC, hydrochloric acid. Now, we take a look at HF, okay? HF, another common acid, same structure, therefore we got the same nomenclature style. Hydrofluoric acid, okay? And we're dealing with the hydroic because there are no oxygens. We have the basic acid structure. Now, if we look at taking the name of an acid and going to the formula, we have been given hydrosulfuric. Now, notice that chlorine and fluorine are both in group 7, right? We know that they are halogens. We know that they only need, when in an ionic interaction, if you will, we're dealing with 1 minus, right? It picks up 1 electron, so it only really needs 1 bond. So that's the reason why we end up with only 1 hydrogen here. But when we look at hydrosulfuric, sulfur is 2 electrons away from fulfillment of octet, and we should kind of remember that from our previous courses. So hydrosulfuric acid is actually H2S because S is in group 6 and not group 7, right? Group 6 and not group 7. So this is H2S. It would not just be HS. So here's an example of where you still need to be taking into consideration positions of your chemicals, positions of your elements when naming them, okay? Now, moving on to acids when we're dealing with polyatomic ions, okay? So we can either have polyatomic ions that are oxygen containing or polyatomic ions that do not have any oxygens in them. And it's very few examples of the ones that do not have any oxygens in them, so I tend to focus on the oxyanions that is we just talked about in the previous mini lecture. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch the mini lecture on oxyanions and nomenclature. So let's take a look at some of the examples when dealing with the structures of the acids where hydrogen still comes first, the same structure we're dealing with, except we have a nonmetal and then an oxygen. So we're dealing with some of the ate, the ite, right? The us, hypo. We're dealing with the ate, the ice, ite, and the hypo. Okay? So if we remember real quickly, right? Boron, carbon, nitrogen, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Okay? And if we remember our number, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, we got oxygens and we got charge, negative specifically. Okay. So when we're dealing with these, we no longer have hydro. Hydro is gone. Hydro is gone. So when we're dealing with acids built from polyatomic anions, particularly oxyanions, we don't have hydro anymore. Okay? So we do still keep the prefix ic, IC, but the ic is always corresponding to the ATE form of the polyatomic ion. And how do we get the ATE form? We should remember our phone number. We should remember how to use it. Now, what about the OUS, the us suffix, not prefix, the ic suffix and the ate suffix correspond with each other. The us suffix and the ite suffix correspond with each other. And then whenever we see hypo and ite together, whenever we see a form of the polyatomic ion as hypoite, then we end up with hypo-us as our acid nomenclature. So let's take a look at some of the examples. So we should remember that nitrogen is our one exception to the rule. We should remember that nitrate is NO3 minus 1, and we see NO3 minus 1 here in our acid formula. We have H first. We know it's an acid. NO3 minus 1 is the ate form. So we are dealing with nitric acid. Dealing with nitric acid. Okay. Another formula. Here we have SO3 with H2 in front. So we got SO3 2 minus. Remember, sulfur is underneath oxygen. It's in group 6. SO4 2 minus is the ate form. So SO3 2 minus is the ite form. So we are dealing with the us suffix. So we are dealing with sulfurous acid. Right? Sulfurous acid. So we do have to put the suffix OUS on. There is no hydro. And why is it OUS? Because this is the ite form. This is the ite form. Now let's look at nomenclature going back to the formula. Chloric acid. Chloric acid. Remember, chlorine, group 7. To get the ic form, we need to look for the ate form, of the chlorate. So what is chlorate? Chlorate is ClO3 minus 1. Chloric acid should have a hydrogen with that. How many hydrogens? We need 1. How do we know that? Because ClO3 has a minus 1. So chloric acid should be HClO3. And lastly, let's look at hypobromous. So we're looking at a situation where we have hypo and us. That means we're dealing with a hypoite form. Bromine is also in group 7. So hypobromite should have 2 less oxygens than the bromate form of BrO3 minus 1. So we should be dealing with HBrO. One oxygen because it's 2 less, 1 hydrogen because we're still dealing with -1, okay? And you should be able to cover all of the acid nomenclature based upon the rules associated with the hydro form and the non-hydro form utilizing the polyatomic ions. But I suggest, if you have not already, go back, watch the video on polyatomic anion, the oxyanion nomenclature, because that corresponds with this, and you build up your nomenclature with this. All right, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment or email.